Welcome to an episode of Inner Work Guides, Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. I'm your host, John H. Reed III. Let's get to it. Okay, well, I've been on a hiatus for a while. It's spring now. I had wanted to get started earlier in the spring, but just got busy. So you might have noticed this episode is called Reshuffle. And the reason why we're doing that, calling it that, is because we've gone and changed the outro, the ending of every podcast, to point to Inner Garden. And you might be wondering, well, why are you doing that? Back when I started this last year, I had been doing Hermetic initiation for decades, but I got certified to do imaginative movement therapy. And I really enjoyed doing that. And I found that most people, when they're seeking to do inner work, I'm not sure what it is people think it entails, but invariably the majority of them wind up bowing out because it's just difficult. Most people do not want to face their shadow. They don't want to face those aspects of self that they've been taught to eschew. So I felt that having a program that allowed people to get some preliminary training so that they could deal with the rigors of Hermetic initiation might be a good idea, but I wasn't sure. So as usual in these things, I go in and seek inner guidance, and basically was directed to set up two possibilities. And the reason why I did that is because when I first started teaching, it wasn't by any kind of design. Way back in 2000, somewhere around that time, someone reached out to me in the winter and said, hey, are you having any classes? And now I hadn't advertised, and I used to do some weekend seminars, but there was never an advertising about that. It was some conference was giving, and I was invited to give a talk. So this person reached out. I said, well, no, I have no plans on that, but, if 3 or 4 more people contact me before the spring, we'll set something up. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. That first class was formed organically, and every class after that was formed organically. People just came. I never had to advertise or anything like that. So I know full well that when Divine Providence wants something to happen, things just flow into place. So I set this up and gave people 2 options on the Inner Work Guide website. They could either go to Inner Garden, or they could investigate and find out about some preliminary inner work and training to prepare themselves for the rigors. And while we did get some persons interested in this preliminary training, it was abundantly clear that the majority of people wanted to go through the route of Inner Garden. And now people will say, well, you should have tried harder or different marketing or whatever, but that's not the point. I went in and I asked to be shown. And when you're being shown something, you have to be passive. Yes, you set up the conditions for the experiment, as it were. But then you sit back and you watch what happens. And if you're trusting, and this is the hard thing that people, they're so used to thinking that, oh, my will or my way, if I just put more effort into it. It's not like that. Every step that you take is given to you by God. And so there's no need to force your way. It just unfolds. And then you have to be willing to adhere to or listen to or follow that unfolding. Because what good is it to say, show me something, And then, because it's not confirming your bias or preconceived notions, then you decide not to listen to it. Then you weren't really interested in learning anything or being shown anything. You were closed. And that's not what this is about. So that's what the Reshuffle is. All the episodes now have the new ending, and we're operating exclusively through Inner Garden. Thank you for listening to this episode of Inner Work Guides Alchemical Gnosis, Yoga of the West. Don't forget to follow or subscribe. Visit our website at www.innergarden.org for more information about Hermetic training in practical laboratory alchemy or inner work. Write to info@innergarden.org.